Servus and welcome. My name is Fireball313 and it's time again for a new episode of Beyond the Game. Like usual, I show you guys 4 games in this video, and the first one is actually for the PlayStation Portable. First, let's talk about the PSP. I must admit, I came a little bit late to the party. The handheld was for already a couple of years, I think 3 or 4 years on the European market. Compared with Japan, it was not a huge success because the Nintendo DS was crushing the competition. But I was really always very interested in the handheld because of the specs, of the UMD media disk, about that you could browse on the internet, that you can listen music, that it was some kind of like the portable PlayStation 3, let's say it like that. PlayStation 3 in a small version. And there was, of course, a lot of games what I wanted to have for the system, like Metal Gear Acid 1 and 2, the Gradius Collection, Dissidia, Final Fantasy, Ape's Escape. There was, Street Fighter titles also. So there was really a lot of strong titles for the PSP, especially if you are a fan about JRPGs. You had a lot of Final Fantasy games on the PSP. So, but unfortunately, I must admit, if you look at my video game collection, you know, for all the big consoles, you know, for the home consoles, and if you compare that with my PSP collection, is my PSP collection quite small, and it's quite hard now to find games just on the market. Yeah, I mean, if you go online, that is always very easy, and unfortunately, sometimes I'm forced to buy the games online because it's really hard to find them in a second-hand store or something. Yeah, so but when I got the handheld back then, I felt really love with the PSP, and even the problem with the UMD disk, the loading times, yeah, was a minor thing for me because I never used the handheld when I go to somewhere outside my house, because when I played on a handheld, then it was just on the couch or just in my bed, and then you have all the time in the world, and then you don't care about the loading times. Yeah, of course, like Dungeon Siege, the loading times of Dungeon Siege for the PSP is really ridiculous. Okay, that is an exception, but so this critics what Sony got from the of the feedback of the fans because of the UMD was not a huge thing for me. But yeah, just about that. So and as a Final Fantasy fan, of course, I was very curious about Dissidia Final Fantasy. That was an exclusive title, and yeah, of course, I just wanted to have the normal version, and by coincidence, I found this version in a German game store. They had second-hand games, and this is the limited collector's edition, and I got it really for a cheap price, and the package is still in really good condition. All the stuff what comes with this collector's edition are included. So I was really happy to find this in a store. And this was an exception. Like I said, it's really hard to find PSP games just in second-hand stores, you know, because like I said, the PSP was more a hidden gem here, at least in Holland and in Germany. Yeah. A little bit information about the Dissidia Final Fantasy. The European release was September 2009. And this game is not an RPG in its traditional form. It's more like a 3D fighting game, and that was quite interesting. You have actually, you can choose 20 characters from the first 10 Final Fantasy games, and they are divided in 2 groups, in the group of the good ones and the bad ones. Soon I will show that. So the white, because they separate these characters to the dark side and to the light side, and Yeah, but it was not a typical 3D fighter like Tekken or something. It had a very unusual fighting mechanics, and and actually the game has a huge tutorial to give you all the information what you need to know. And I must admit also that the manual and the what is it? How does it called? I think the mini guide. Yes, there's a mini guide in it that gives a good insight in the mechanics, because it's not a game what you just pick up and play. You need some time to get used to the game mechanics. But when you open for new experience, then this one is extraordinary. Yeah. This game has a story mode, arcade mode, multiplayer wireless was a big thing, of course, back then. This version, if you want to buy it in a good condition, it costs around 25-30 euro. I got it cheaper, but hey, sometimes I'm lucky also when I find something. Yeah. And you guys can see already it goes with the style what Square Enix had back then with all the Final Fantasy titles. I really love that you have the logo, you know, and then the artwork. And then you can see actually the two goddesses where you fight for. When you choose the good side, then you fight for this goddess. And when you choose the dark side, then you fight for him. Soon I will show this in a manual. The box is very, very solid and feels really, has really good quality, I must admit. So it feels, it has, it's not really cheap. So this is the front, and of course it says PSP. By the way, I like the PSP case design, so you guys will see that. The back looks like that. What are you fighting for? And then the legendary characters from Final Fantasy come together in an epic fighting game. Fight for the goddess Cosmos or the god Chaos. Which side do you choose? Then, of course, you see the bonus, what is included. Then it's a one-player game. How much memory you need on the memory stick. And then the wireless capabilities, of course. Yeah. When you open the box, you get all this content. And first I want to show the box from the inside. It's really very, very solid and really high quality. I like that. Then you get the normal game, and I like the package design, you know, because it's way different than PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, or Nintendo DS titles. So yes, this is really cool. They have a different artwork here. You see a lot of heroes from the Final Fantasy games. There is shit, I forgot the name now. The guy from Final Fantasy 7, here from Final Fantasy 9, and from Final Fantasy 10, and yeah, and then some classic characters. Shit, I forgot the name. Fuck, yeah, sorry. Next time I put them on paper. Yeah, then you get some art design. It's a little bit like a postcard. Soon I will show that. Then you get an art book. I always love that because I'm a sucker for art design. Then the menu. And here it's a mini guide from Brady Games, and this is the smaller version. There is another one also. Wait, where did I saw that? Somewhere there was, they gave information about a bigger one that you can buy in the store. Where was that? Wait, I will find that. Shit, here. Yes, this is the official strategy book. Yeah, the official guide, and this book is way bigger. But it's nice that they include this. So, but first we look at the normal package. Yeah, this is design. If you guys ask me what this is the censorship here in Germany, and it's so you must be at least 12 years to play this game. Yeah, the German law says that it's required that you have this on every case of video games, like here. For example, a game, but I show soon also, you see there's 12 years. The Legend of Zelda, And for example here, soon I show Rage 2, then you see this is 18 plus. This is for the grown-ups. Yeah, there's a rating system also here in Germany. Yeah, so this is the front. Yeah, it's nice design also, but I must admit I always go for more simple design, and I love that. For Final Fantasy X, for Final Fantasy IX and 8, they had really always awesome designs, you know. Because sometimes design can be too much also, because now you have all, you know, I mean, serious now, if you compare that, this design, this cover is just way crowded now compared to this, you know. This is more calm, this has some mythical feel, and yeah, but it's not bad. So the back of the case is the same like this one, so no real difference. When I open this, actually you get the UMD, and what is nice also is the game comes with 2 versions of the cover. This is the light side of the cover, and you have the dark side also. That is then of the god of chaos, and then it's of course black. And then you have Sephiroth, yes, I know his name, and some heroes from the older some villains, sorry, from the older Final Fantasy games. So you can choose which design you would like to have. That is always welcome. I don't know if this is included, oh shit, if this is included in the normal version, because I never saw the normal version in the wild, I must admit. Go in, idiot. Yes, I want to do it nicely. Yes, so, and then there's the UMD, and we're always fascinated with the things about the UMD. I mean, UMD stands for Universal Media Disc. It's a little bit like a small DVD. The capabilities, memory capabilities is something like 1.2 gigabyte, something like that. It's really extraordinary on this small disc. This is here for the protection, and the laser. Use this window, you know, to read the content. Yeah. Actually, I put the manual goes in there, and I like the design of the manual also because it's so way different than with the Nintendo DS or other format. So let's look at the menu, because the menu, as a fighting game, it goes really into a lot of details. Like I said, the fighting mechanics is quite complicated compared to standard fighting games like Street Fighter, Tekken, or Soul Calibur. So you have then the content, and I like the design also. I must admit, Square Enix really know how to present their products. They put back then, I mean, today it's unfortunately not anymore like that. They put a lot of effort in the design of their manuals and the design. So you have a logo, you have the logos in the background, and a nice artworks. Yeah, here you have, because it's a German version. You have here the story. It's about Cosmos, the goddess of harmony, and Chaos, the god of, actually, I don't know the English word for Zwietracht. At least it's something bad, okay? And then you have, let me see, yeah. Then you get the introduction of the characters. This is the fighter, the warrior of light from the original Final Fantasy. This is Furion from Final Fantasy II. You get some small introduction. This is, I even don't know the English word for this character, but it's from Final Fantasy III. There's a Sissel from Final Fantasy IV. In the beginning, he's a bad guy. Then Bards from Final Fantasy V. Terra from Final Fantasy VI. Cloud, yeah, stupid me, of course. This is Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. Then Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, Zidane, yes, Zidane. It's like the football player, sorry. And then Tidus from Final Fantasy X. These are the good guys. Yeah, here you get some basic information about the control scheme on the PSP. Really, every button has a function. Some buttons have several functions that you must combine the R button with the other buttons, like the square and the circle and stuff like that, you know, to do some special moves. And yeah, then it's here about the installation. And then you have, here's the information about what you can do with the game. You have the story mode, arcade mode, quick fighting, communication mode, museum, and option, of course. And they go really in detail with all the stuff about what you can do. Here, this is explanation of the story mode. And then the fighting screen, all the informations. Then about the EX mode, how you defend yourself, how you move quickly, stuff like that. So yeah, then it is about the arcade mode. The arcade mode is way more simpler. I mean, when you play the story mode, you have some RPG elements also. And this is the Colosseum. Yeah. Here you can personalize your character a little bit, and this is about when you level up the character, what you can do with that, with all the stats, the accessories, the espers. Yeah, this is really a lot of stuff what you must learn to play this game. This is about the online lobby, what you can do, and how you communicate with your friends, offline lobby, and stuff like that. And then the museum function, then you can watch some artworks and even some screenshots, stuff like that. Yes. So yeah. And then here's the technical hotline from Square Enix back then. Yeah, and that is the official strategic guide from Brady. Yeah, that is the manual. So I must really admit, in this case, normally a fighting game like Street Fighter doesn't need. I mean, it's nice to have a manual, but because the gameplay is always very pick up and play, you know. But in this case, you really need a manual, you know. Yeah. Then one thing in the next thing what comes with this limited edition is a soundtrack selection. Unfortunately, it's not the full soundtrack because the full soundtrack has 2 CDs. It's over 50 songs. Here you get, wait, I show you guys. And this is so awesome. First, this is the front. This is the back of it. And it is a mini disc. This is so cute. Look at this cute little mini disc. Awesome, right? I love it. I really, really love it. No, and you can't put this in your PSP. It's not compatible with the PSP. You put this just in your CD-ROM or your just a CD player and it will work. I think you can even put this in the PlayStation 2. I never tried this out. Maybe I must try this one time. And here you get a small booklet even, you know. And look, this cute little booklet. It's so small. I really, really like that. And you get, unfortunately, only 6 tracks. And Keeping the Peace is the nicest track on this CD. Yeah, and then here is some information or some comments from the creator of the soundtrack. Yeah. This is so awesome, you know, and I really love mini disc. I was always fascinated by this format. So yeah, so you get 6 songs, and this is nice. Then let's move to the next thing. What I always like, the art of Dissidia Final Fantasy. I always love art books, and this art book has really a solid cover, you know. So really. High quality, and when you open it, it looks like that. The art of Dissidia Final Fantasy. Then all the bad guys. And here, this is the Warrior of Light. And then you see some artworks. And you see, and there's a huge difference of the art design of the older Final Fantasy characters we've compared with the new ones, really. You see that a lot, actually. When you just look characters from Final Fantasy 3 or 4 and you compare them with Final Fantasy 15 something. So, and this is Firion from Final Fantasy 2. And this is the Emperor from Final Fantasy 2. And this is the Onion Knight. So it's really just the Onion Knight. I must admit, I played Final Fantasy 3, but this is already so long time ago. I even can remember the storyline in this case. So I'm really sorry. And if you play so much games, sometimes you forget some stuff. This is the Cloud of Darkness from Final Fantasy 3. And this is Sissel. Yes, and Final Fantasy IV. That game, of course, I remember quite well. And you guys can see already the paper has quite good quality, you know. So you get something for your money. This is Bart's Klauser from Final Fantasy V. And then Exdeath from Final Fantasy V. This is from Final Fantasy VI. Terra. And Kefka, I don't like this guy from Final Fantasy VI. And that is Cloud. And there you can, this is a good comparison actually. Look, this is one of the character designs of Final Fantasy I. And when we go now to Final Fantasy VII, you see there is an upgrade in this case. And even if I go farther, like Squall, you see this really obviously. You can see that. Yeah, so, but let's go back to Cloud, of course. All-time classic guy, you know, from the Final Fantasy series. And then Sephiroth, of course. He's like Darth Vader in the Star Wars series, you know. Has a lot of fans. Then Squall Leonhardt. I hope I pronounce it correctly, from Final Fantasy VIII. I love his sword gun. It's a really cool thing. And then Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. Was the last title on the original PlayStation. Yeah, and then Tidus from Final Fantasy X. Oh. And here you get an artwork from both sides. Looks awesome. This is so the huge crossover, like a multiverse. And this is the back. Then you get some basic information that's not so important. But, and this is what I'm always mention here with the design of Square Enix. You can see the art book has the same cool design, you know. Yeah, I like that. Then, next thing. It's about the artworks or postcards. Nice touch. And here you have the all the characters. And that looks really awesome, I think. And paper quality is really, really good. Yeah, so nothing to complain about. And yeah, it has this postcard design, but it's not mentioned to send it with the mail or something. So it's of course too vulnerable in this case. And the last thing in this limited collector's edition is the mini strategy guide. And let me think, how many pages? 30 pages, I think. Yeah, something like 30 pages. You get more depth, more insight in the gameplay, the character stats, and yeah, and this is really, really welcome. Like I said, the game design is not so easy to pick up. A cool art design from, I think, the first Final Fantasy. And then it gives you basic information about the game screen, your first, how you do your first battle, stuff like that. And here they explain about the, give explanation about the EX mode, and how you move in the air. And this is quite fascinating because most fighting games just play on the ground, you know, in a 3D environment or 2D environment. Here in Dissidia, you can really fly through the air, you know, it has this anime feel. And this has an epic feeling when you play this, you know. So, yeah. I don't want to go now into the detail, but they give you the datas, you know, how strong is somebody, and yeah, so they gave a good insight actually in the game, and then a nice artwork at the end also. Yeah, looks cool. Yeah, and that is the collector's edition of Dissidia Final Fantasy. Is this game recommended as a collector of? And if you're a huge fan of Final Fantasy, yeah, of course. If you're if you really want to play this game, then and you love fighting games, expect a rough start. But when you really dig into the gameplay, then you will notice it has a lot of value, and the playability is quite good if you get used to it. So, but this game gets a thumbs up from me. Yes. Game number 2 has a very interesting story what I would like to share with you guys before I gave some detailed information about the game and the design and all that stuff. This is King of Fighters Maximum Impact for the PlayStation 2. And before I go in detail about this version, I want to share this story with you guys. I bought this version with the booklet and the hardcover 10 years ago, something like that. And I got this game like this. And I thought this is normal, and sometimes you have some PlayStation 2 games where you have these plastic things. It doesn't mean that there must be a second DVD or something. Sometimes you just have that. So I always thought this is just a game with package and a huge menu, and that's it. And when I started to prepare the game for this video, I went on the internet, and then I noticed actually that this version is not complete. And stupid me, actually on the back it says it comes with a bonus disc. And I think I never read this information here. So before I wanted to record this version was not complete. Because I always try to show complete versions of something. So I had to buy it again to get the full experience to present that to you guys. So yeah, so after 10 years, finally, I got the bonus disc also. It's really so stupid. Yeah, okay. This is the story behind that. Basic information about King of Fighters. Yeah, this is a 3D, a spin-off of the original series. It came out in March 2004 for the PlayStation 2. There is an Xbox version also. And this version is more enhanced, has online play. Yeah, so if you want to go for the better experience, then you should choose the Xbox version. Back then I didn't have any kind of Xbox, so this version was then for me the first one to pick. You have 20 playable characters, 6 new ones, and the bonus disc has interviews, introduction for the new game mechanics, and yeah, an introduction even for the storyline. There's an art gallery on that, so yeah, you get some stuff. And important also, it was the 10th anniversary of the King of Fighters series. If you want to buy this game in this condition, it costs something around 20 euro, so it's not expensive. Also, so the collector value is not so much. This, and that is important to know, this is not a special version or something like that. This is the standard version. And the reason is why I want to include this in the video, because for a standard version you get a lot of stuff. The gameplay compared to the normal King of Fighters series is a little bit different. Normally you have a team of 3 players. Sometimes you can even choose a striker. Here this is just one versus you just choose one character and you play with him through the storyline or the arcade mode, something like that. So there is no striker functions, no second player in your team or something like that. So in this case, it's more traditional, like the other King of Fighters games. Yeah. And it tells here, I bought this version in Germany back then, but it says it's an English version with a German manual. So the first King of Fighters title in 3D, and it's got developed specially for the PlayStation 2. You get a lot of characters from the SNK universe, and yeah, and then of course the information about the bonus disc. Yeah, this is the package. Yeah, very solid. And then you have the standard game with the big ass menu. The menu is big like the package itself, and that is really nice. Yeah, and the paper has the same feel like the carbon box. This is cool. So let's go and check a little bit about that stuff. Here they give information about the bonus disc. The first is about the story mode. Here they introduce the new characters, the new system. There's interviews with the developer, and then art gallery. And then here they talk about the 10th anniversary of the King of Fighters. Yeah. If you are interested about the storyline, here you can read that. Yeah, I mean, technically the game is self-explanatory. I mean, you choose a character. First you choose what you want to do, practice mode, versus, story, challenge, and then you pick a character. The only thing what you need to know is, of course, the button configuration. Here are the rules. This is the screen and all the information about that. Yeah. And then the functions of all the buttons, what they do. And here are then the commands. For example, if you want to dash in a certain direction, you must press the direction button twice in a certain direction. So stuff like that. How you block, stuff like this. Yeah. This is about how you do your special moves. And this is the story mode, the bonuses, the verses, the challenges. It's all about the game modes in this case. But for a fighting game, this is very interesting and always important. Here you have all the button configurations for the special moves, and here you get even some detailed information about the character. I'm not, how to say, yeah, I played a lot of King of Fighters titles, but I play them more for the fighting mechanics and for fun. I'm not into the storyline, and I don't know so much about the characters. Like compared with Street Fighter 2, I know all the characters and the storylines, but here about King of Fighters, I just know some names and some special moves, and that's it. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of King of Fighters. And I must admit, when I buy a fighting game, I always use the menu, of course, for all the button configurations, you know, for the special moves. It makes it way more easier. I mean, in a modern fighting game, you have always good tutorials who explain stuff. But, you know, always for remembering the button combinations, I always put this in front of me when I play the game. Because sometimes, because every character has different moves, and to remember all of them is sometimes a problem, I would say. I mean, especially when you play so many fighting games like I do. This is one of my favorite characters. And then Terry Bogard, of course. And he is, I think you guys know that from Fatal Fury. I think this guy, Maxima, he looks like if he comes from the future, like he's some kind of X-Man, I don't know. He looks like a little bit like Sabertooth. Ralph Jones. This is a strange name, because Ralph, here in Germany, many people have the name Ralph, you know, and this is very German. And Jones is more an English family name. And then if you call somebody Ralph Jones, this sounds for Germans very strange. Yeah, so that's a lot of characters. And what is this? Yeah, this is some artwork, and here is a commercial about Metal Slug 3 for the PlayStation 2. And I must admit, this was the first King of Fighters what I bought, because back then I didn't have the money to buy a Neo Geo. And I remember this, the King of Fighters 2000, 2001 came in a bundle for the PlayStation 2. And that was my entry point with the series. And then, yeah, I really started to like the series. I loved the art style, you know, the bitmap graphics, because titles like Street Fighter, with every new title, they change their design rapidly, you know. You can see that with Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4. And oh, I must admit, I love this bitmap design of the King of Fighters series. Yeah, so, and maybe in a future video, I will put this in one video and I explain a little bit about that. Yeah, that is this menu. And then you get the game. This is the front cover, looks exactly like the standard package. This is the back, nothing different, nothing extraordinary in this case. And then you get 2 discs. You get the game and the memory card holder, what I always like, and the bonus disc. You can pop this in. It's a standard DVD. You can pop this in your PC or your PlayStation 2, and it will just work. Yeah, and then you still get a menu, and that is quite interesting, because this is already the menu, you know, and you get a small menu. But don't expect too much in this case, because it's, yeah, really basic. Here on the first page, they want to thank you that you bought the game, and they give you, they tell you that you must read the other menu to know the game, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, and that's it. That is the manual, and then of course the credits. Yeah. And is there a recommendation for this game? Yeah, I mean, if you love fighting games, then you can go for this title. I mean, it's not really expensive. You can do nothing wrong. Don't expect something really extraordinary. I must admit, if I must choose one title from the older King of Fighters series, I like them more than this one, because it's a 3D game. It has this a little bit cheap polygon feel and look. It's a little bit plastic look. I mean, if you don't have a problem with that, you can do nothing wrong with this title. As a collector's item, this is always cool, always nice, you know, especially when a producer put a lot of effort just in a standard version like this. Yeah. Game number 3, what I would like to show is, compared to the other 2 games, a quite modern title, because it's for the PlayStation 4, and it comes in a big-ass box. And that is Rage 2. And this is the deluxe edition. Basic information about this game: it came out in May 2019. It's a corporation of Avalanche Studios, the makers of Just Cause, and id Software. This is the successor of Rage for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. the original Rage was developed by id Software itself, and it was for first-person shooter fans and the press a small disappointment. I mean, the gunplay was really awesome. There was, especially on the console, technical problems with the textures. The textures popped just really in, and many people expected an open world experience. The gameplay, I mean, the series plays in some kind of post-apocalyptic world. It has a huge taste of Mad Max. But the first game was just half open world. I mean, yes, you had some areas where you can use some kind of buggy, you know, you have a vehicle in the second game also, but the second game is actually a real open world experience compared to the first game. I got this version because this was a review copy back then. I wrote an article about that, so I know a lot. I finished the game till the end, and yeah, I must admit, the Rage series, like Doom or Quake, you don't play this for the storyline. You play it for the fan factor, for the gunplay, for the crazy stuff what you can do, and for the Mad Max design and stuff like that. Yeah, and if you want an open world first-person shooter, you can do nothing wrong with that. The only critic, the only thing what I must admit, what I felt in this game, the open world was a little bit lifeless for me. I mean, yes, you can explore everything, but sometimes it's just a fucking desert and nothing really happened, you know? So you use your vehicle, you go from point A to point B, but compared to other open world titles, it's not so much. I mean, you don't find so much when you explore stuff by yourself. And this is what I always like to do in an open world game. First, I don't want to play the storyline. I mean, I start the storyline, but then I just leave it like that, and then I want to explore the open world. And here you will notice, yeah, you can go everywhere. You can climb and you can see some stuff, but don't expect stuff like Skyrim or something, or just Cause games, you know. So yeah, the price of this version is something like 30 euro. I mean, when it came out, it was, I think, 60 euro. So the value, the collector's value, is half of the price. I mean, yeah. You get some digital stuff, and you get a wing stick. And if you guys don't know, the wing stick is one of the weapons. It's some kind of boomerang thing what you have in this game. Yeah, your character used this, you know, as a melee weapon, something like that. You can throw that. In the first game, you have this wing stick also. Here there's a plastic version, and you can use this as a boomerang, and it really works. Unfortunately, I can show this, otherwise I will destroy here some interior. I don't want that. So yeah. Because this is a first-person shooter, it's 18 plus in Germany. This is the site, and it tells, of course, a wing stick is included. I love the design, the color schemes. It screams really 80s with the pink, purple colors, things like that. And you feel this in this game when you play this. Insanity rules, yeah, an open world, crazy action, fucking big guns, yeah, stuff like that. Here you get the digital extras like the BFG, and there is an expansion and some booster packs and some cheat codes. I must really admit, I'm a little bit disappointed with this version. I mean, it's a deluxe edition. I have a certain standard for that. Then I expect a soundtrack CD, something like that. At the end, you just get the wing stick and the digital content, and that's it. Yeah, and then, of course, the big box. Yeah, you open it like that, and then you have the wing stick and just the standard game, and that's it. So let's look first at the wing stick, and you get even a manual for the wing stick. Spring-loaded action wing stick, ready anytime, anywhere. Push button, release, flips out, free soft, durable blades. Blades fold and lock for pocket transport. Real wing sticks for use indoors or outside. And then they give even some explanation about how you use the wing stick in the game. The wing stick is the ranger's best friend. Press the center button and free blade spring into position, ready for fight. Throw it and watch it sail through the air. Be ready to catch it when it returns to you. Unlike the lethal weapon in Rage 2, this wing stick is soft, playable, safe and easy to catch. Ages 14 and up. And then even they give you instructions how you must hold it and how you must throw it. I mean, this is self-explanatory, I think. Yeah. So this is a wing stick, and it's soft plastic. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if you throw this into the eye of somebody, then of course he get hurt. But it's not like if you throw knives. You press this button, zack. Yeah, that's cooler. It's a little bit like a switchblade, and yeah. And I tested this out when I got this one, and it flies really well. It goes really smooth through the air. And if you want to put it back together like that, and then you hear a click, and then it's locked. If you want to open it again, zack! That's cooler. I like that. You know, with stuff like that, you can make me really, really happy. You know, yeah. Then of course it's Rage 2. I must do it again. Wait. Zack! So cool. Yeah. So if next time, maybe if I get angry at my girlfriend and I want to throw some stuff at her head, I will use this one. Oh, no, don't tell this my girlfriend. She will be angry at me. Yeah. Then the package of the game itself has the same design like this one. No secrets, no mystery behind that. The back is the same also. Yeah, then you get the game on the Blu-ray. What is nice, they put some effort and do some art design in the inside. That is always nice. So it looks cool. Wait, I take this out and you can guys watch this a little bit better. Yeah. Looks really cool. Let me put this back. Then you get a small flyer about Doom Eternal. I have a special edition about that also. I will do this in a future video. And this is about Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's a title from Machine Games. I think it's the third title from Machine Games in the Wolfenstein universe. It's a co-op shooter, a first-person shooter. Compared to the other Wolfenstein or other two Wolfenstein games from Machine Game, this one is not so good because I put a huge emphasis on the co-op gameplay. Yeah. Then you have the download code for the deluxe edition. Nothing special in this case, but you get a menu. You don't expect that actually in a PlayStation 4 game, but it's a menu. But that's the menu. So this is just the control scheme if you're on foot, and this is a control scheme if you are in a vehicle. Basic information. That is the menu. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed. I mean, we talk about deluxe edition, and in a deluxe edition, you get maybe an art book, soundtrack CD, stuff like that. A little bit disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed. I mean, if I would buy this for the full price, that would be a huge disappointment. I mean, for 30 euro, that is okay, I would say. I mean, if you get it cheaper, go for it. It's a good first-person shooter with a big open world. If you want to finish the game and if you want to explore everything, it takes you 20 hours plus. Yeah, and if you like the gunplay from id Software, then this title is really recommended. With the last game of this video, I have a love-hate relationship, if I must admit, and that is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And yeah, how can I say that? How can I talk bad about this game? Because first, it's a Legend of Zelda game, and Skyward Sword was a really praised title. Yeah, I read the reviews, I watched video reviews, and of course, I wanted to play this game, but I noticed very early when I started playing this one, it didn't really grab me like other Zelda titles. Especially the motion control was not really my thing, and this was the same with Twilight Princess. I mean, I'm more a guy who plays just with a normal controller, and I think the motion control didn't add anything new to the gameplay in this case. Some people will tell you different. I mean, this is just my opinion, you know. It felt always for me like a gimmick, what was put on this game, and it was not really required, because you can play a Zelda game just with a normal controller, and that is fine, you know, this is awesome. But this game required the nunchuck and the Wii Motion Plus. Yeah, as a collector, of course, it was important for me to get at least one of the special editions, because you have 3 versions. First, the normal version, then the special orchestra CD limited edition, that is this one. And they had another limited edition that came with a controller and a soundtrack also. This one is more expensive than this. For example, the limited edition with the controller was something like 60 euro. It's still 60 euro. It's the collector's value, and this one is 20 euro. This game came out as a 25th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series. Yeah, and this is the German version. I mean, it's basically the same like the English one. And I mean, yeah, I love the art design, I must admit. That looks really cool also. Yeah. And that's the back. And when you open it, you get nice goodies. This is the Legend of Zelda 25th Anniversary Special Orchestra CD. And this is important to know, you can't put this in your Wii. This is just an audio CD. You put it in your CD player or your CD-ROM, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, and this one will work. You have a booklet even for this that comes here. And it's really nice that they include this special booklet, you know, with the track list. And here you have all the tracks, 8 tracks. And then you get small comments from Koji Kondo, that is the music supervisor, Shigeru Miyamoto, of course, and Eiji Aonuma. He is the producer of the Zelda, or the Legend of Zelda series. Yeah, and then you have the developer. So this is nice. Yeah. This is a nice artwork also. This as a if I would have this as a poster, that would be really, really cool. And here, this information. It's you can put the music CD in your Wii. It's not working. You need a CD player for that. Yeah. So you get the music CD, and of course the game itself. So beside this small booklet, you get a menu. You get the standard catalog from Nintendo with information about Wii Party, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, yeah, Mario Kart Wii, Wii Fit Plus, Xenoblade Chronicles, Mystery Case Files. Actually, I don't know this one. Yeah, and then just some Nintendo Select titles. Nothing really extraordinary in this case. For a limited edition, I must admit, I was expecting a bigger manual, but because this is really just really small, and hey, this is a Wii game, it was back then still normal to have a good manual. Yeah, so, but let's look at the manual. What I like really is the art design. It has some kind of water color scheme. This looks really incredible, I must say. Yeah. Yeah. What information gives the menu? Just standard stuff. How you create a save game. Here are some basic informations about your heart, your endurance, the control schemes. And here they tell you some stuff about the control, what you can do actually. And yeah, and I must admit, this is one of the reasons why I don't like the Wii so much, because of the motion control. And this is with PlayStation Plus also. I have PlayStation Plus here, yes, and I have a lot of PlayStation Plus games because I had to test them back then for my work. I'm not a huge fan of PlayStation Plus also. For the Switch is nice. They have a motion control, but it's not, I mean, they recommend it sometimes, but it's not required. You can always still use the controller or just a tablet, I mean, just the screen itself. And so you're not forced to use motion control like here, you know. It would be so nice if you had an option to play it just with a GameCube controller, but yeah, Nintendo didn't do that. They really, really loved their Wii Motion Plus add-on. Yeah. So you had two ways to play this game actually. There was, I mean, first you had the add-on. You can just plug it in your Wii Motion in your Wii Remote. Later there was a revision of the Wii Remote with Wii Motion Plus inside. Yeah, there's some tips about the adventure, and that is the game. Yeah. Can I recommend this game? I don't want to influence you guys in a bad way. If you're a huge Zelda fan, go for it, make your own experience. If you love the game, then it's good. If not, then hey, there are so many other Zelda games who are really incredible, you know. And yeah, and unfortunately this one was not really for me, but I like yeah, the limited edition with the soundtrack, stuff like that. And if I may be lucky, I get the other one with together with the controller. That would be nice also, just as a collector. Yeah. Oh, by the way, important information. If you don't have the Wii and you want to play this game on the Switch, then there is the HD version of it. And that is quite interesting because, yes, you have motion sensor, but you can just use a normal controller. So when I played the Switch version, it was more comfortable to play for me. But I'm still not, even with the Switch version, I'm not a huge fan of this game. So yeah, you can get this one. This is a good HD remaster of the title. Yeah, unfortunately, when you buy the Switch version, you just get the game. There's no manual, but a cool art design. Yes. And this, you know, this option here, because you can use a motion control and just a standard control, I would like to have this here also. Yeah. Now, yeah, this is about The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And that's it with this video. If you guys like my content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, I would be happy about that also. See you next time, guys, and don't forget to support your local video game store. Servus, guys.